Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
The Daily Compliance News for August 4, 2021, the 8K edition. And we begin with that story from the Wall Street Journal that the Lockheed Martin CFO resigned suddenly. The reason for the title of this episode is Jonathan Marks has long advocated that when a executive leader, ELT member of senior management resigns suddenly, it should be an 8K event. We don't know the reason for the resignation of Ken Possenriede, who became CFO in February 2019. He will retire immediately for personal reasons, whether that's health reasons, whether that's other reasons. At this point, we just don't know. He had been with the company for more than 34 years in the finance department, and this sudden resignation certainly raises questions, but at this point we have no answers. Next up, from Reuters, the Chinese authorities in Hong Kong arrested a pro-democracy singer for corrupt conduct. Hong Kong's anti-corruption watchdog charged the singer and prominent pro-democracy activist Anthony Wong with corrupt conduct at a 2018 election rally. The Independent Commission Against Corruption said in a statement Wong had provided entertainment to induce others to vote for a pro-democracy activist. Certainly, I think we all recognize this is the end of democracy in Hong Kong as the Chinese government has taken over Hong Kong. And what this means for Western businesses, of course, is very problematic. Next up from the New York Times Deal Book, the story of businesses who are mandating vaccinations of both workers and customers. And the federal government continues to pressure private companies to introduce coronavirus vaccine mandates to help the U.S. Now, what's going to be interesting is in idiotic states like where I live, in the state of Texas or in the state of Florida, where the government is against any sort of mandate, they're against any sort of mask wearing, and really against anything that would help stem the Delta variant increase, what this is going to mean going forward. But businesses are now taking matters in their own hands because of their own health concerns, their own liability concerns, and frankly, the concerns of their employees who don't want to be around unvaccinated people that could reinfect them. So businesses are really taking the lead on this. Of course, Republicans were at one point pro-business, now they're anti-everything, and it's going to be interesting to see if they turn anti-business as well. And finally, our last story is from the BBC that workplace language encodes gender expectations of who we hire, how we assess people, promote, etc. So a new study from Oxford has found that language coding is an important way that gender discrimination continues to proliferate in the workplace. And indeed, in today's Great Women in Compliance, that is a similar topic. So check out Great Women in Compliance and read the BBC article. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.